with the word Devon. Hashtag the 80s in 5 words.
Now, 7:10. Devon Council is to be reported to the local government ombudsman over its handling of a controversial planning application.
Planning permission for a high-rise development on Torquay Harbour was quashed by a judge last year after a legal challenge by a group of local people called Save Cary Green.
Now, the scheme is back before the planners, but this time in a complete turnaround from before. They're recommending refusal, as Sophie Pearce has been finding out.
Well, there are lots of very smart boats here in the marina in Torquay, and I'm standing just by the Pavilion, which is sadly now boarded up, and looking over to where this huge 11-storey block of flats and 5-storey hotel would have been built, but that is now all up in the air. And I've been to see Cordelia from Save Cary Green, who was instrumental in getting the judicial review, which has turned the situation around.
As a group, it's been fine. Individually, it's been very tough at times. But to be honest, the support from the community is what's kept us going at every stage. They've been amazing. People have been brilliant in total. They've raised over £14,000 towards this campaign for legal fees, both when I was getting sued by the developer and for the judicial review of the decision. And our campaign supporters have just been amazing. They are the crux of it all. We've done it for them, and it's actually their victory, really, the community.
Do you feel now that you have, in inverted commas, won?
I think Torquay has won, definitely. It's a conservation area. It's surrounded by a marine conservation zone. There are 80 listed buildings in that area. And to have overshadowed all of those for private apartments and what was proposed would not have been fair to the community.
I mean, if you hadn't taken that legal action, it could now be going ahead. And some people are saying it would have been a good thing. It would have got that area of town spruced up. It would have been good for the economy, and you've just thrown a spanner in the works.
Yes, that's been thrown at us quite a lot. We haven't actually thrown any spanner in the works. We've just insisted on a lawful observation of the rules that apply to conservation areas, listed buildings. We've just been following the law. Had the council should have actually thrown this out when it was first come before them. At pre-planning, this should have been, all these points should have been pointed out, and they've failed at every step. Not just failed the community, they've also failed the developer by leading him down this path that was never going to go anywhere if the decision was going to be lawful.
How do you feel about the fact that if it weren't for you, this would be going ahead?
Good question. I actually gives me butterflies in the pit of my stomach, to be honest, because I look at Oldway Mansions and I look at other decisions that have been made around Torquay, and I question, how often have these developments and these deals gone ahead against the wishes of the community, that the community simply didn't have the money to raise to challenge these decisions? I think this is something that needs looking into, and as a campaign, this won't be the end for us. There still remains all these questions to be answered. What if? Really, that's a big question. This has cost our town thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, and that's unacceptable. Someone has to take responsibility for this whole fiasco.
And who do you think should?
I would say that is up to the council or the ombudsman, most likely, as a result of an investigation into it.
Will you take it to the ombudsman?
Oh yes, definitely.
Has this been a victory for people power?
I think so. I think it will hearten a lot of people to actually not just swallow lock, stock and barrel and allow themselves to be ridden over roughshod. This is definitely a victory for you and I, for the ordinary, everyday people in a community. And we've been advising several other campaigns, and all around the country, people are starting to stand up and say, no, this is, heritage doesn't belong to anyone. We keep it in trust for future generations.
Cordelia from Save Cary Green talking to Sophie Pearce.